It's really long. And if you're looking live, you can actually look back here and you can see on the screen where we're sitting. We're going to give it about another 20 seconds, and it looks like AR/VR Faves is the one that's coming up right now. So we're going to give it a little bit more time. We're going to give everybody a chance to vote on what they want us to talk about, aimlessly or trying to stay on topic. Are you heckling out there, Scott?
Alex, give me the code one more time.
Research. Look, it should have said AR/VR Faves, exclamation point, or the most boring topic known to man.
4175. It's not
417975.
It's not active. Menti.com/yeah.
MENTI.com 417975.
Yeah. Huh. Of course Caitlin did. She's the one person. Okay. All right. We're gonna count it down in my head. From 10. I think I'm at 4. All right, fine. Okay, so AR/VR Faves, it is. So we'll do that. Okay. So I guess I'll start. Let me start. Okay, because I'm going to cheat a little bit, mainly because I can. So my favorite tool, and I just saw it at the Augmented World Expo in California about a month or so ago, because one of the primary concerns about younger age children experiencing VR are the headsets and stuff like that. Well, industry, being so far ahead of education in these things, already has a solution in place. And it's really expensive right now, but the price point will come down. And it's a company called Igloo Vision. Think Igloo, like, the coolers, like the red and white coolers. But it's Igloo Vision. And it was very, it was just sitting there. I didn't know what it was. It's this round cylinder thing sitting in the middle of the conference thing. Nothing special. It said Igloo on the side. I thought they were sponsoring, a water break or something. I don't know. So I just so happened to walk into it. And it's these super high 4K and maybe 8K projectors all around the top of this space. And it's about 24 feet in diameter. And it's got, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 foot tall ceilings. And you walk into this carpeted space, and in the center there's a console to control everything. And around you is completely 360 degrees. And the software that they have built turns anything that you have on your computer into a 360 experience. You have a website that you developed. You go in, you put the website into that. It automatically puts your website in 360 degrees. You're playing a video game on Steam. It's VR. It comes up, and you can play it in that space without having to have a headset on. So I was thoroughly impressed. They are in a bunch of conferences and stuff like that. They got a couple of installations in university levels in Los Angeles. They have some out there, but it was really impressive. Now, the price point was not cheap. That's why education may have to wait a little bit. It was 6-figure range. Let's just put it like that.
Woo!
Yeah. Enterprise, come on. All right, so who's next?
I have a question about that. Is that solution meant for like planetariums, for repurposing planetarium and domes that a lot of high schools and elementary schools have across the country?
So it's a funny story, and I don't want to give too much away. It actually has its background in music festivals. And it was a way that they were stitching graphics from one screen to another, and they said, hey, wait. Yeah, that's right. So, but yes, the idea right now is that museums, planetariums, stuff like that can get these installations. And you can check them out, igloovision.com, and they have all sorts of use cases. They got some really cool YouTube videos that demos their spaces. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Do you want to go next, Amanda?
Get into that mic, Amanda. Like ice cream cone.
I'm getting into it. All right, so what am I? We're supposed to do AR, VR, right?
Yeah. Well, it's okay. That's fine. We're making up the rules as we go.
For VR, I will have to say, like, I have been searching for a headset. So one of the big things is, and one of the metaphors that Beata, which is the headset I'm holding right here, uses, is that people, when they go out to buy a headset, it's like, can you hear me now?
Oh.
Better. Closer.
It's like trying to buy a television for Netflix. So with Beata, they put Ed before tech, and what they've done is it's a platform for VR where they have 500 STEM modules that have learner analytics, a dashboard, and a lab setting to where you can actually put all of your students into a synchronized lab where they can't get out. The back button doesn't work, so with you don't put them all in and the 3 of them are back at the home screen, like, I see a black screen. The learner analytics actually engages students in applying the content, so you can actually see where they are, what they get, and what they're doing in terms of their learning. So Creative Labs, they've got their own headset here. It's $3 and the specs are awesome. James can tell you about the specs. I'm not a specs person. I'm a content person.
2.5K. It's got the latest Snapdragon XR processor. Yes, 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's pretty impressive, and it's got an
28 gigs with SD.
with SD expansion. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's $449. Yeah, about $400. So with the Go, you're looking at the Go. You're putting in 200 for a Go, 250, and you still don't even have the memory, and then you still have to find all of your content. Like, so this is a no-brainer for me, and I've got brain puns all day. So this is my VR fave at the moment. You need to check it out. This is great also because the content, if you already made that investment on your 30 Oculus Go's or 8 for your classroom, you can onload their curriculum onto the Go's and run that as well. So if you're looking for content, look no further. I told you first. Creative Labs. Creative.com. Check it out. We will have the headsets on us. If you run into me, I will have it and I will put you in. So, also, Journey Ed 2222 at Expo Hall.
Okay, funny story. I wasn't going to tell myself. Sorry, Siri. But today I was talking about V8 at the table at the playground, and I said, "Yeah, you need to go by Journey Ed and check it out." I said, can't remember what that booth number is, and that's a true story. And I know that you told us that it was easy to remember. 22, yeah, but I still forgot it. I travel brain.
All right, let's have.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it wasn't 1-1. It wasn't just 2, right? It was 4 of them, so it was complicated.
I'm gonna not Bogart it. I'm gonna let him do that.
I'm gonna. We have Steven Sato coming in from Los Angeles, California, via iPad stream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it to Steven. Steven, give us one of your favorite AR VR tools.
All right, so it's sort of broad, but so totally used to be like a virtual field trip hater, Google Expedition, like everybody's doing it. But then I realized, look, again, if this is beyond and outside of your paradigm, then those field trips have huge value. So along those lines, I want to plug the California Department of State Parks PORTS program, or the Parks Online Resources for Teachers and Students. And they do these live virtual field trips. Now they do them over Skype or Zoom, but very soon we're working with them. We just did it last Thursday to bring those same live field trips with park rangers at California State Parks in VR. So kids have agency and ownership over that experience while they still have the dialogue back and forth with the ranger if they have questions. So that's what I want to do, is I want to see, these virtual field trips, the ability to go somewhere instantaneously, and dialogue back and forth with them in VR.
That is awesome, Steven. Thank you for that. I'm gonna talk about, this is a little bit of a story. I first saw CoSpaces in spring 2017 when I first started using it. I thought it was a great classroom tool. It's great for the teacher. The teacher can see everything that all the students are working on. The students can create virtual reality content in CoSpaces. But I didn't actually have the opportunity to start using it until my current role. I'm an IT director, but I also teach technology, and I teach STEM classes at a Catholic school in upstate New York. So this spring, I first started using it in the classroom, and I worked through some of those issues with just getting it up and running. And I can tell you that CoSpaces is a very, very solid virtual reality and augmented reality creation tool. I'm going to be talking about it later on today at 4 o'clock at the CoSpaces booth. But the first project I did was around the Catholic saints. I looked up some information about the different Catholic saints, and I put together a sheet on the Catholic saints, and I had each student create a virtual reality world that exemplifies one of the stories of each of these saints. So this way the students are getting a little bit of religion. We actually don't call it STEM at my school. We call it STREAM. Science, technology, engineering, arts, religion, and math. So it's one way. I'm actually not Catholic, but this is one way that I can sort of bring some of that education in there. And the students had a fun time with it, and they built these great virtual worlds. So I highly plug CoSpaces, and if you've heard about the Merge Cube, you can also you can
throw it all around.
You can you can also use CoSpaces with the Merge Cube add-on to build augmented reality. But I don't want to steal somebody else's thunder, so.
Well, if you come to the Merge Cube at 12 o'clock, I'm actually demoing design thinking with the Merge Cube. So 12 o'clock today. And
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I was paying attention, maybe.
You can also run CoSpaces on this V8 headset.
All right, so let's go to our next
Did
topic.
you have one more?
No.
Hey, the WDC crew needs a picture.
Move your head up, Steve.
Yeah, I need you to get closer to the screen. We got to get
Google Innovator, baby.
Perspective a little bit.
We miss you.
Sorry. All right, we're
That's perfect.
Right there.
Perfect.
All right.
Make sure you hashtag
You guys
that
are
VR
ridiculous.
podcast.
All right, so our next two topics is going to be either equity and access or the latest AR VR technology. The latest, like that came out 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it's at minty.com. What? While we were podcasting. Hey, if y'all put it like this, I mean, literally put it on your chin. It'll be better. We can hear you. There you go.
Hello.
See?
Hello.
Look at that. All right, so here's the code. It's 510649.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's menti.com,
Get 'em into- yep.
MENTI.com.
Yep.
And the code for this one is 510649 to vote for our next
Uh-oh.
live topic.
We got a race. Uh-oh.
Equities down 2 to 1, 2 to 1.
Here we go.
Up,
Oh.
up, up.
Ooh, man.
It's a close one.
We're gonna disappoint half of the audience. We're gonna lose them. They're just gonna walk away.
And they're coming around the stretch.
Look at
Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
Who's trying to be funny? Who is doing that? It's collusion out there.
Split the topic.
Oh.
Take 2.
Oh my gosh.
That's Menti.
Wait, oh.
Oh.
Well, we still got the live viewers. Remember, we're 20 seconds behind.
That's menti.com,
So-
510649.
Yeah, just to make it interesting, right? Look, y'all gonna go to private browsing, vote again, keep voting? No, don't do that. All right.
So, Steven, just right now, Equity and
Yes.
Access has 4 votes, and latest AR VR Tech has 5 votes.
Steven to vote from his desk.
Steven,
No, I'm just giving him an update. Can you, Steven, are you
equity
watching
and
this?
access.
No, okay.
Oh, we've got
All
a
right.
tie.
5.
It was you, wasn't it? Okay. All right.
I like
It
I
do-
like your T-shirt. Created equal.
It does matter.
I like that.
It's really important. Okay. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The tiebreaker. Okay, we got 10 seconds left.
9, 8, 7.
Yeah, something like that.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
We're talking about equity.
Talking about equity, it's a big deal, right? I mean, when you think about equity in technology, it's a big disparity, but it's probably exponential when it comes to immersion technology, right? Because it's not cheap,
Yep.
so to speak, to get into it. You need devices. I mean, once you have devices, it starts to become a little bit less expensive, right? All right, so who wants to tackle that first? Oh, crickets. Okay, starting at the end.
Basically, equity and access. A lot of teachers come to me and they're like, "Hey, where should I start? We don't have headsets. We don't have technology." And I'm like, "Yeah, you do." They're like, "Where?" I'm like, "It's in your student's pocket."
Yeah.
There's most students today have cell phones. They have phones that are capable of AR VR access and AR VR content. So if we embrace that BYOD policy and
Yep.
we use the technology that's out there with CoSpaces, with HP Reveal, which their user policies I've heard today maybe not the super most friendly. There's things that's up and coming. I don't know if you've heard of the Thing app, THYNG, but they've got some big changes. They're kind of like HP Reveal, but they've got some huge changes coming for educators as of August. Like really, really, really promote educators. But being able to leverage the devices that are already in the pockets of your students, and then equity and access, those students who are missing school as well. Like if you were to have devices that could be checked out, or you do record, 360 videos of your classes, you put it in a VR classroom, like Roomy. There's how many of you guys have heard of Roomy, Doghood Simulations? So Roomy is a great VR classroom platform. We're launching a VR podcast. We're launching a XR design challenge, a global challenge, where we're putting up the access to Roomy. We're taking away the registration costs and everything.
That's awesome.
And we're launching it global, where students all over the world can come in and have equitable access to those who are cutting edge and leading VR conversations and design challenges for teachers that may not have access to the technology, but they have the computers. They can put them in and give students access to people like myself or James or Alex or Steven, who have been doing this for the past 3 or 4 years and might have a little bit more or less of a learning curve. So they can come in, we take away that anxiety and give them access to the curriculum, the content, and the platforms, and scaffold them to help them actually take it back to their own schools.
That's what we're seeing with a lot of companies that are being sensitive to knowing that not every district, not every teacher can afford these things. They're giving them some free options, or they're giving them ways to get into it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, I just want to mention, I know Amanda brought this up early, and I know Dave from Viative just took off, but when you think about virtual reality in education, I think one of the promises of that is that you can, reach populations that may not have access to traditional education, or maybe don't even have access to a good internet connection. The Viative solution has 128 gigabytes, and all of their virtual reality STEM and other modules are all built right in here. You do not need an internet
connection.
Yeah.
So infrastructure is a big barrier.
And they've built it across many different languages. So, Dave himself lives in Japan, but he works for a company out of India, and they're building a multilingual, all on-board virtual reality education solution that focuses on the content. I think that is a lot of I came into a school where the internet connection was 10 meg down and 1 up. And you can't do a lot with that.
No.
So even a solution like this for a small, I was at a small Catholic school. I've fixed that situation since I've come in there. But, there's probably hundreds of schools just like that still don't have reliable internet.
And then even the synchronized, if you're putting all of them into the same experience, it doesn't stream. It just ignites that experience, so it's non-streaming, which is huge in terms of bandwidth.
Now, another way to think about equity also is, thinking about the different voices that are in the classroom. You might have some quiet students. I also think that being able to create in a virtual environment, like I was talking about with my students, that gives the students full ability to be creative, to use their creative powers, and then share that with the rest of the class, even if it is the quietest student. So if there's power structures happening in the classroom, or people don't feel comfortable speaking in front of others, this is a way that they can sort of share their passion and what they're doing in a way that's safe. They can even bring that home, and they can work at home on their spaces that they're creating, and then come back and, the teacher can share that in front of the classroom, or they can just talk a little bit about it. But it's a way to sort of bring out those voices that maybe need a little bit more of a hands-on type of an education, and maybe don't feel completely comfortable speaking in front of everybody else. So it's a way to get to some of those maybe quieter or, students that just, so it's a different type of learning, and it's creation.
Brian Costello a shout out, because he just used Remy to do the presentations with his students, and some of his more meek students that don't like getting up in front of the classroom, they put the headset on, so they had that little bit of insulation from the public speaking piece, and then he broadcasted in his classroom. So it really kind of unshackle them in terms of public speaking. And kind of, I think of it like Big Daddy, like when the kid's on the stand and he puts on the sunglasses and everything's okay. So
Yeah.
for some people, public speaking, like being able to present, it takes away the distraction of people looking at you and that fear of because they're looking at your avatar, a representation of you, an extension of yourself versus hey Steven.
Hi, Steven.
So
Well,
Steven, you want to talk
sorry,
about
I was just going to go
equity?
in a completely different.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah. So one of the things, I mean, you guys brought up some really, really great points, and I hope the connection stays. It's getting really blurry. But what about career tech ed, right? And let's forget about automation and AI and that eliminating all the jobs in the future. But for now, I mean, we can go out and we can give students the ability to, repetitively, cost effectively train on specific career skills, welding, etc. But check this out. There's a group out of California that is working with the state of Nevada to put in place a 100% VR training to re-educate people on how to become dialysis technicians. So the state is actually certifying after a test, obviously, and these people to be able to go into dialysis facilities and become technicians, having done 100% of their training inside of VR. I mean,
Wow.
and they do this in the span of 6 months. So we're giving people who are at minimum wage jobs the ability to triple their salary instantaneously, and we have a state like Nevada supporting it. And I think that's something that this technology can do and bring equity to those that might not, or have, we talk social oppression and all that, right? We don't have to go there, but now we have this opportunity, and I love where the technology is going.
Yeah, I would agree. I when we think about equity and access, getting access to those things is one thing, but the equity that VR and AR bring to everyone is probably the most powerful, right? I think that's the common theme. The equity and access, the dollars, right, that's going to solve itself eventually. And really what we need to discuss is how it's being used, right? Because if we just try to mold it to traditional education models, we're going to be alienating a large amount of people, and is only going to be catering to me, essentially. So, all right. So let's go to our last topic.
We're going to have to vote on this one quickly.
Yeah, we're going to have to vote pretty quick. All right. So the next one is age limitations or what's next. Age limitations or what's next. The code at Menti is 954888.
That's menti.com, 954888. And while you're voting, I just want to mention one other thing. I know there's a couple different companies that are building VR career modules so students can experience different types of career paths in virtual reality. And I also think, for students that maybe have never seen what college looks like, virtual reality college, so students can get an idea in VR of what the college experience might be like. Yeah, college tours are becoming very popular with virtual reality.
my students have made tours of schools in Kentucky. So they've gone in, the students have actually made tours of the school. You can go to the music room, and then you can click on the instruments and hear each instrument.
We made a tour of our National Historic Site, and then to sidetrack that, we made a tour for the Vancouver National Historic Site. It's up on the National Parks website. We're official partners with them now, and it's been seen in 23 different countries. We have people coming in to visit the fort that have taken the virtual tour. So, and that's actually how I met Vince here too. Last year we created a virtual online museum as we 3D scanned in artifacts from the fort, and he's from Australia, and so he contacted me because
Awesome.
he's seen it, and now they're downloading our artifacts and stuff. So this AR VR world is now really uniting and bringing equity to things. So like you have kids who don't have to look at just a picture of a place in a textbook anymore. We can now go there. Like
Yeah.
Awesome.
everyone's gonna be able
It's
to
awesome.
fly to Paris to see the Louvre, but if we go to Google,
Yeah.
we can do that now.
Yep.
And that's the power of all this. When we're studying homelessness and like adaptation and climate change, I can go to Bangladesh and have my students stand in the slums of Bangladesh to understand and get empathy for the people that live there. And
Yep.
then it creates empathy like no other.
Ooh.
It's transformative in the classroom.
Yeah. it sounds like it gets old hat, but empathy's a big deal with VR. It does it.
It absolutely 100% creates empathy within the kids and allows you to build upon that, and it's creating a generation that is more understanding.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to hopefully be able to talk to one another without yelling at one another.
Yeah, absolutely. Preach
Right.
it. I like it.
So shameless plug.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
I just had my design thinking book come out on Saturday. It's a kid's book that introduces design thinking, and Zip the Zombie here. It's from the future, and he's come to help solve the world's problems so we don't go into an apocalypse. This is design thinking, and as students activate their empathy and they learn to care about others, he becomes human. Because empathy is the antidote.
Woo!
I like that. Yeah, I like the
like
visual
Zip.
too.
I like Zip the Zombie.
All right, so it looks like what's next is what won. So we'll do this really quick because I want to take the last few minutes if people have some questions or some comments. So I'll go first. The next thing that we're going to see that's really big is in augmented reality. I'm not going to say MR because I don't like that phrase. I'm going to say AR, and it's the next iteration of occlusion. So occlusion basically means that, like on AR, like when you scan like the merge cube, right? You scan the cube and the object's there. Whenever you pass your hand over it, though, the object either disappears or it is in front of your hand, right? So occlusion means that the object stays grounded in the place that it's at, and when you move your hand or something across it, it actually your hand moves across it and it doesn't disappear. The next iteration of occlusion is going to be interactive occlusion, and it's already here. And actually, we're going to see some apps coming out with the new AR Core and the new AR Kit 3 that's going to allow you with your hands on your mobile device when you scan something that's in augmented reality, not just like Merge Cube. But there's an object that is like I don't know, it's like an arrow sitting right there in AR, just sitting in the ether. You can reach out and grab it and move it, and it's already here.
Wow.
That's no. It's using your camera to orient where the object is supposed to be in space, and your hand. Well, your hand's not really the trigger. Your hand is what's causing the action. So it's knowing that you're squeezing whatever is virtually there and moving it with your hand. No other tracking is needed, and it's going to be backwards compatible on so many different devices. No, there's developers. I saw 3 developers working with it, and this is an SDK. So there's
Chick video, like the little chick.
yes, yeah. You can pick the chick up. You can hit the chicken. Yeah. So we're going to see that more and more come out probably within the next year, easily within the next year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right, next.
Steven, what's next?
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I would say think your typical multi-purpose room and an Oculus Quest style device that tracks not only the space of the room, the arena, but other devices. And that multi-purpose room is a basketball court, it's a theater, and it's anything you want it to be because it's in full VR. And I love VR because, again, you can be fully immersed, and at least up until, James, at the point where we get, full occlusion at 180 degrees around our eyes. VR is really the fully immersive technology, right, where we're going to get lost in that and be able to see our peers as avatars in whatever space our teachers want to take us to. So, Ready Player One.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Amanda, or do you want to close it out?
I'll close it out.
Okay.
Next, I gotta go to work.
What's next? I'm gone.
Call
You-
me.
I think we're just hitting that spot where we're, maybe we're not fully there yet, but we're wireless. We're inside out tracking. With the Oculus Quest, I know HTC has the Vive Focus Pro, Vive Focus Plus. We're starting to see more classroom consideration in some of these virtual reality platforms. Like the Viative solution, the Link VR?
Links.
Links VR. So we're starting to see people taking into consideration students in classrooms and creating some customized solutions. But I'm really excited for, I don't have to set up lighthouses or sensors.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about that world, and it's going to continue to get smaller. Eventually it'll be goggles, but, right now I'm just happy that we're wireless.
Yeah, exactly.
there.
Small victories.
Yeah.
All right, you want to close us out, and then
Yeah. What's
Okay.
next? I keep going back to our interview with Alvin Wayne Graylin. Or Alvin, yeah.
Yes, Alvin Wang. Yep.
So I keep thinking of what he said. In the future, it's not going to be AR or VR, or this AR what do you prefer, AR or VR? You're gonna have one device that has both of them within, and it's gonna look more like sunglasses or headwear, and you'll be able to switch between modes. And I'm holding my breath, like waiting for that. Well, Google Glasses, but the screen going dark and then being encased in a
Or better yet, in contacts.
ocular implants.
Yeah.
So can I just add one more? Can I add one more point to that? And this is riffing on, if you haven't listened to the Alvin Wayne Graylin interview, what he talks about is the opportunity for VR to level the playing field of education around the world so that all our students can get the best possible education. And what I really loved about that is once everybody is optimized for education, then they can freely work on whatever world problems they need to solve, the human development goals, fully explore their artistic abilities. And I think VR is a big step towards that optimized education, because imagine every child has the best possible education. We're not there yet, but we can get there with virtual reality, with the best possible teachers, field trips, lab experiences. And if everybody's getting the best possible education, that enables so much more of those free cycles of your brain to work on big problems and really solve world problems. So
being able to focus on human intelligence and essential skills, or what other people like to call soft skills.
Yep.
But the essential skills of problem solving,
Yep.
collaboration, creativity, working together, and really leveraging our brain to do things that AI can't. AI is not going to replace us. They're going to help us.
Assist us.
And they're going to assist us and allow us to focus on solving the world problems that are out there. And that's what's next.
Okay, so that's going to wrap us up because as you can see back here, they're going to start carting us off like just move. So we don't have time for a.
You should go to Merge.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to do some Q&A with us, I know that in some iteration, all three of us will be either be at Merge or CoSpaces for the rest of the afternoon.
Yep.
So come find us. We would love to talk more about all these things.
thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Stephen.
Hey, somebody put me on their neck. Bye, Caitlin. Somebody put me on their neck. Just carry me around. Oh yeah. I'm not getting car sick.